What's up? It's your girl, Danny DMC. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you are part of the Confidence Crew. If you're not a part of the Confidence Crew, it's okay. We're not an exclusive club, baby. We are open to everybody. But all you have to do is hit that big juicy red button screaming subscribe to you below. But I want you to be confident in that decision, like all things in life. So wait, watch this entire video, and I guarantee by the end of it, you'll be running, sprinting, gasping to hit that subscribe button, okay? Now I need y'all to get geeked, because if you could not already tell from the title below, we're talking about our 30s. I am entering my 30s, which is honestly an all-consuming feeling. I feel proud, I feel comfortable, I feel confident, I feel reassured, I feel scared, I feel vulnerable, but I feel like really grounded. And that's not something I've felt in my life much up until this point. I would say after turning 28, things really started to change for me. I'm coming into the end of my Saturn return, and I really started to feel that. And I just feel, if you're not into astrology, it's okay, you can Google it. But I just started to feel much more like at peace and sure of myself. And everything was just kind of making sense. Everyone always tells me that your 30s are like amazing. All of my friends that are over 30 are like, child, this is where it's at, okay? This is like really where it's at. So I'm honestly so excited. I think the only fear in me is I always joke and say I have Peter Pan syndrome. So I had a lot of trauma at a young age, like especially in my teens. So a part of that has kind of been missing for me. So I've always wanted to like be a kid. And, I haven't lived with my family or my parents since I was 14, except for COVID was really healing for me because of that. So I've always wanted to like live with my parents again, and like my sister all under one roof. And I have a lot of these like cravings, of childhood, of teenage years. But I've done a ton of healing. And so I feel like really good going into my 30s, but that's the only component that scares me. It's like growing up. Like, I don't want to grow up. I want to be a kid forever. But what I'm realizing is that like, whatever age you are, it's what you make it. And I've really seen that. I have to give a huge shout out to my mom. I've really seen that from my mom. My mom is a stunning example. She is 67 years old, and people think she's 50, and her energy is like 30. I'm so grateful to have that as an example, because that's how I choose to carry out my life. Like, people always say to me, oh, what? When I was 29, like, oh my God, you don't look 29. Like, I would have guessed you were 25. But when people say that to me now, I turn 30 in a couple days, and when people are gonna say like, oh my God, you don't look 30, I'm gonna be like, baby, this is exactly what 30 looks like, okay? She is 30, flirty, and thriving. So I just had to give you a little preface on that. I'm feeling great, and I'm so grateful that you guys were a major part of my 20s. So I'm so excited that we're entering into the 30s together. And no matter if you're in your teens, your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever the case may be, this is a home for you, and we can all relate in some form or fashion. So I love that so much. And yeah, today we're here to talk about 30 things that I've learned before turning 30. And I'm so excited. Yesterday I've been thinking about this. I wrote a couple things down, but maybe like 3 or 4. And then yesterday I journaled in one of my favorite journals. You guys can get this journal on Amazon. It's in my Amazon storefront. I've had this journal since college, and I just write in it all the time. I put stuff in it. I, glue stick stuff in it. I have a glue stick literally right here in my desk. Whoopsies. So yesterday I took some time, I sat down, and I wrote 30 things I've learned before turning 30, or 30 things I've learned by 30. So we're gonna get into it. Now, I did a reel for Instagram of these things, but I just did like the short snippet version, and I'm gonna give you the full drawn out, I have a piece of hair in my eye. I'm gonna give you the full drawn out thing that I wrote down. So you ready? Let's get into it. April 2023, 30 things I've learned by 30. These are in no particular order, but I am gonna read them how I wrote them down, but I just wrote them like as they came to my head. So the first one will come as no surprise. There's no relationship that will serve you more than the one you have with yourself. This is something I learned pretty early on in life because of the stuff that I went through. I was forced to be alone a lot, and it is the key to my confidence. It is the reason I have healthy relationships. It's the reason I've healed, because I always prioritize my relationship with myself. So that's a big one. 2, move out of your hometown. Do it. Even if it's for a little bit, even if it's for college, just for college, like move out of your hometown. I'm telling you, it's a cheat code. So I moved from Cleveland to Chicago when I was 13. And then I moved out of Chicago, and I've since lived in, are you guys ready for this? For brief periods or long periods, here we go. Minnesota, Arizona, Maine, Alabama, back to Chicago, New Orleans, Los Angeles. Oh, and New York City before, between New Orleans and LA, New York City. That's a lot of places. And each one has given me the opportunity and chance to redefine myself, recreate myself, choose a new path, try something scary. And I love that. I love a challenge. It invigorates me. So I'm telling you, move out of your hometown. Number 3, rebel, never conform, be a leader. So this is huge for me. Obviously, if you guys have been around since my @follow the leader days, that was my @name. Hold on, I need some water. Drink lots of water. That's a bonus one for you. My @name was Follow the Leader because I wanted to teach people the importance of being a leader. And I'm a rebel by nature. I always say that. But it's really important for me to always look at the big picture and then decide what fits for me and what doesn't, and how I want to disrupt the patriarchy. But no, disrupt everything. So that's like one of my biggest tips in life. Number 4, no one knows what they're doing. Find your own way. This is something I had to realize. There were a lot of people in my life, including my parents, that looked like they had it all together, my sister as well, and they knew exactly what they were doing. No one knows what they're doing. No matter how together someone may have it, they don't know what they're doing. They're just trusting themselves. They're trusting their gut. They're leading with confidence, and they're doing instead of talking about it or thinking about it or having anxiety about it. So that's a big one. Find your own way. Carve your own path. Number 5, spend significant time alone. So this goes back to number 1. You have to feed and nurture that relationship you have with yourself. It's so important, and you cannot do that unless you're spending time alone. So people, like, as it may seem cheesy or whatever, but when people are talking about take yourself on a date, go out, those moments are so important because it gets you out of your comfort zone. You're gonna be uncomfortable. You're trying something new. You're prioritizing yourself, and most importantly, you're feeding that relationship you have with yourself. Do that one. 6, find the beauty in being single. This is a hard one for me. I always craved male attention at a really young age, and I got a lot of it because of my body, because of my shape, because of my curves, because of my personality, my confidence, and I'm just fine, you know what I'm saying? But it didn't give me the opportunity to realize my worth without men. So by the time I got in college, there was a period before I met T-Bell where I decided to be single, and it was so hard, so grueling, but it led me to the relationship I'm in now. So yeah. Number 7, love your family. Spend as much time with them as possible, whomever they may be. Show up for the people that show up for you. That's one. Again, like I said, on the reel, I just said, love your family. But here I want to give, I wrote notes next to a lot of them. This one's really important. So my family is everything to me. I have an Italian heritage as my background. My family was built on a lot of loyalty and strength and showing up for one another, even during the hardest moments of our lives. And even when we didn't know how to show up for one another. But I have so many people in my life that don't have family members like that, or aren't close with their mom, aren't close with their dad, they're not in their lives, whatever the case may be, tragic events, etc. That's why I said whomever they may be. You create your family. You can also make your family. So that's why I said show up for the people that show up for you, because you need to pour into those relationships and prioritize the relationships that show up for you. And even if you had a really tough childhood or a bad upbringing or a bad family or whatever the case may be, you can create your own family. Prioritize them. Number 8, 9 times out of 10, you know if someone shouldn't be in your life. Get rid of them. What are you waiting for? Cut them off. This also goes into if they wanted to, they would. So trust your gut with that. And literally number 9, stop second guessing yourself. Trust your gut. Okay? I said it right there. Number 10, comparison is the thief of joy. Stop comparing yourself. The only person you should ever compare yourself to is yourself. And even that you have to be careful of. It should only be in terms of wanting to grow and become a better person. 11, learn to have platonic relationships with the opposite sex. And no, flirting and making out and cuddling is not platonic, okay? You need platonic relationships. I have some phenomenal male relationships that I could not live without. And it teaches you so much, no matter if you're a man or a woman. And you need platonic relationships. Change the narrative. Number 12, take your time. There's no rush. Be patient. Number 13, surround yourself with people from all different types of backgrounds and perspectives. This is a big one for me because at a young age, I don't even know what it was, but there was something in me and my sister that wanted to know all different people of all different backgrounds. We lived in a predominantly white, well-off neighborhood, and we had friends of all different backgrounds. My sister had friends that were from India and Russia and all different countries. I also had friends that were from Russia and Asia and the West Indies, and I had friends from literally all over. And we went to different neighborhoods. Most of our friends didn't live in our neighborhood, which I think is important. This whole like stay in your neighborhood thing is, I'm so grateful my parents were open to that. And trust me, I was not hanging out in the best neighborhoods sometimes, but my parents, they would do a drive-through, they would make sure it was okay, meet the parents, check it out, and then trust me. Until I, broke their trust. But I think that's really important because a lot of times, we can go deep into this, but bad neighborhoods it's just a racist term, a dangerous neighborhood. Why is it dangerous? Okay, maybe the crime is higher. Why is the crime higher? Because people are oppressed. Let's do the math, okay? I think it's really amazing to open yourself up because you want to learn. You are a vessel, you don't want to be, what a boring life to live, to be around people that look like you, talk like you, act like you, dress like you all the time. That's so boring. Like, you want to experience new things, you learn and you get fresh perspective. So that's a big one. And it's number 13. Not on purpose, but hey, must have been on purpose. Okay, number 14. Travel. You have to see the world. It'll blow you away. And what I mean by that is even if money is tight, prioritize traveling. So start a little jar, put, $10 in it every other day, every week, whatever you can manage. Make that a priority. I just made the ugliest hand. Make that a priority. Number 15, it's okay to be scared. Just don't let it stop you from moving forward. So important. I had a lot of fear in my life, a lot of anxiety, and I feel like I never let it stop me moving forward, which now thinking about it is really marvelous and amazing. So that's a big one. Number 16, nothing miraculous happens inside of your comfort zone. I need y'all to remember that, okay? That's a big one. You have to get uncomfortable for the big shit to happen. Number 17, take time to heal. You don't have to suffer. Take care of yourself. It's a big one for me. I was suffering for a very long time. I shared this with you guys on some social platforms, but recently in 2021, I was having horrible panic attacks, and it really was just like a manifestation of my anxiety getting to the worst point that it could. And I got on Lexapro, and it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. So I take 10 milligrams of Lexapro every day. And I'm so grateful I made that decision. I was worried I wasn't gonna feel like myself. I feel like myself and then some. I just feel amazing, and it was the best decision I ever made. And one of the reasons I made that decision came from a phone call I had with my dad, who's not a super emotional man. And he said to me, you don't have to suffer. You're suffering and you don't have to. That hit. So that's a real one. Also, healing is so powerful. It really is. Okay, number 18. You need girlfriends. A strong group of women surrounding you will change your life. Be patient. The right ones will come and the wrong ones will go. Man, did I need to hear that. I wanted a group of girlfriends. Girlfriends, my girl. Okay, I needed girlfriends, but I didn't know it, but I wanted them at times. I just always had more guy friends. And now I have so many strong, powerful, beautiful, vulnerable, open, aware, in tune, in touch. Okay, I was dropping too many gems. My camera overheated. So I don't know where I was, but I basically was talking about girlfriends and how empowered and enlightened and in tune the women I have around me are now. And it has changed my life, 100%. Okay, number 19, set boundaries and stick to them. Advocate for yourself. I think that one's so important. And I've been someone that's been really good at setting boundaries. I think because there have been women in my life that I've watched really struggle with setting boundaries, and it bothered me because it made me want to protect them. So that's a big one. Set boundaries, stick to them. People will respect your boundaries if you respect yourself and you hold true to those boundaries. And drink your water. Number 20, think outside the box. So this kind of ties into rebel, never conform, be a leader. Number 3, wow, all the 3s. That one's really important. So you need to create your own way. That also kind of goes into no one knows what they're doing, find your own way. Think outside the box, get a fresh perspective, trust yourself. Number 21, always be open to growth and becoming a better version of yourself. Be a good person even when others aren't. That's a real one. That's one together. That was one of my little side notes. That's a real one though. There's so many times I've allowed people to take me out of my character, and you have the power to choose how you react to situations. That is one I learned late in life, like past 25. And I'm still learning every day, but that's a big one. I always want to be the best version of myself possible. So that's a big one. 22, it's okay to make mistakes. Each one is a lesson. My camera might overheat again. It's doing its thing. We're almost done. 23, when it comes to relationships, always love yourself more. This is a huge one for me. I was in so many toxic relationships before T-Bell, and I always prioritized the other person. Now I even say to Tyler all the time, I love you deeply, but I will always love myself first. And I think that's something we're not taught in relationships enough. It's like a crime to say that you love yourself more, which you should. You should always prioritize yourself first, and then everyone else next. And that doesn't mean you think you're better than anyone. That doesn't mean you're not good at compromising in a relationship or that you're gonna put yourself above others. It's that you love yourself more, okay? And that has a deep-rooted meaning. So people cannot hurt you, people cannot mistreat you because you are your own protector. You make sure people show up and love you just as much as you love yourself. And you should wanna be with a partner that loves themselves more than they love you as well. And it's a kind thing. It's not, I love myself more than you. No, it's not that. It's a mature, grounded, deep feeling of self-love. That's a big one. Number 24, be still. Dance in the rain, indulge in the small moments of stillness. That's a hard one for me, and it's gotten better and better. I love that one. 25, there is no other characteristic that will get you further in life than what? Say it with me. Confidence. That's one. That's one of them ones right there. Okay? You can achieve anything with confidence. You will have a better love life. You will have a better sex life. You will have a better relationship with your family, with your friends. You will be a better dog parent. You'll be a better human parent. You'll be a better coworker. You'll be a better boss. You'll be a better student. You'll be a better human when you are confident. That is why I do what I do, because I want to pass it on from me to you. Wow, she's a poet. Okay, we're getting close. 26. Dream it, do it, then dream bigger. My mom got me this bracelet when I graduated college, and engraved in it says, dream it, do it. I've done just that. Then dream bigger. Just keep going. Keep dreaming bigger. And it doesn't just have to be about work, because my mind is I'm a Capricorn moon, so work focused. It's not just about work. It's about whatever you dream for your life. Keep dreaming bigger. And don't ever be in a room where you're dreaming the biggest when it comes to you. You want people around you. Now I'm kind of going back to business, but for me, I just had a huge change with my internal team recently. And it was a change between having people on my team that were dreaming smaller than me to now having people on my team that dream way bigger than me and come up with ideas I never could have even thought about. So that is really powerful. Number 27, it's painful. It feels all-consuming, but I promise you will overcome it. Like my mom always says, this too shall pass. Number 28, this is a big one for me. Listen to this, take this in, Danny. Learn to forgive. You don't need to forget, but you can forgive. It will help heal you. Forgiveness is really important. And it's been hard for me to forgive. It's something I've grown into, and I've really realized that forgiveness, sometimes it's more beneficial for you than it is even for the other person. It really is healing for yourself, because when you don't forgive, you hold on to stuff, and that energy, it stays in you, and you wanna rid yourself of it. 29, prioritize your mental and physical health. Be conscious of what you put into your body, but also indulge. And when I talk about being conscious of what you put into your body, I don't just mean physically, I do. I'm very aware of, like, I only drink water. I really try not to, like, I indulge, don't get me wrong. I'm a sweets girl. I like to have chips every now and then, but it's always about an 80-20 rule. And this has nothing to do about physicality. This has everything to do with wanting to live a long life. My mom, her mom passed away when she was young. And so I've watched my mom really focus on health our entire lives. And it's definitely rubbed off on me in a good way when it comes to, like, I don't drink pop. Yes, I'm from Chicago, I say pop. I don't eat sugar cereals. Like, there's things we weren't allowed to eat growing up, so, like, I don't eat those because I don't crave them. But I also indulge, don't get it twisted, okay? That's just as important. But when I talk about being conscious of what you put in your body, I also talk about mentally, spiritually, what energy you're around, who you're around, what music you listen to, what books you're reading, all of that, who you're watching on social media. I just stared at you for a second on that one. All of that is so important. Number 30, you probably think this is going to be a really long one, but it's not. Find the balance. Find the balance. Find the balance in it all. Last year, the whole year, I usually give myself a word. This year it's thrive. 30, thriving. I'm also thinking of getting that word tattooed on me, but I won't tell you where yet. But my word last year was balance, and I found so much balance. Work-life balance, relationship, travel, quality of life balance, like saving and spending balance, like balance in the fear of the unknown, but taking control. Like, there's so much to find balance in this world, and that's a huge one for me. And I say in no particular order, but I feel like all of these came out in the exact right order, and I love that 30 was find the balance. Like, I just think that is kind of a sum of my 20s, of the end of my 20s. So I'm so glad I can make this video. That's all 30 things. 30 things I learned by 30. Make sure you guys save this video, add to your watch list, and now join the confidence crew and hit that big juice red button so you can subscribe to you below, okay? Make sure your notifications are turned on as well so that you're notified every time I upload. And comment below, do you guys want to see more videos like this? The last time I did like a sit down inspo video was when I did the how to stop being insecure. And that was a really powerful video. That was like 2019. So I think I need to do more videos like this, because this is a lot of the stuff I do in my confidence workshop. And I feel like you guys could benefit from a lot of this. And honestly, I could make a video out of every single one of these things that I've learned. So I also kind of want to, I'm in such a healed place in my life. I kind of want to let you guys in a bit more and talk about some of my childhood traumas and things I've been through. So yeah, let me know if you guys want to see that. I hope that this video inspired you. I hope it made you have a new perspective on 30. And if you're not in your 20s, or you're in your early 20s or mid 20s or late 20s, I hope that you gain a lot from this and it inspires you. Also, huge plug to any of my 20-year-olds. You should read the book, The Defining Decade. It is by a therapist. I don't know her name. My book is next to my bed because I'm finishing it. I read it when I was 21 and I wanted to reread it before I turned 30. So I have like 20 pages left, but just Google The Defining Decade. and it's get the newest, the latest version, because she revised it a bit because of like social media and new times and stuff. But she's a therapist that specializes in 20 somethings, and it is a must read if you are not in your 20s yet, or in your 20s, or about to be 30. You could also read it in your 30s, but it's just amazing for anyone that's in their 20s. So check that book out. It's a huge plug I'm giving you because that helped me a lot. And I love you guys, and I'm so happy we're on this journey and you've been able to see me go through so much in my 20s. We're a family, and I'm forever eternally grateful, and I'm awed and amazed every day by this community that we've created. So I love you guys, my confidence crew. I do it for you. I rock with you until the world blows, and then I'll find you again, okay? But I hope you love this video. I love you guys so much, and the next time you see me, I'll be 30 and flirty and thriving. I love you guys so much. See you soon. Bye.